Hello everyone. I hope you are doing great today. It's a beautiful day in the Northwest. It's bright and sunny and I am ready for a pool day. It is officially summer vacation and my daughter's out. Let's see, I'm pulling this up so I can see you. My daughter's officially out, so I think tomorrow we may have a pool day because that just sounds like a good plan. All right, so we're gonna make these two projects today. We're making two different boxes. We're making one using the new peacock paper. It's beautiful. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Kim. So glad you're here. And then using the new mosaic paper. And we're gonna make this with this really pretty, whoops, closing that's gonna pop apart. Of course it is. It's been this way all day. It's been totally fine. Okay, like that. So these are our two projects. And I'm going to get us started because, I don't know, sometimes people go on for quite a while and we're not going to do that today. All right, so I'm going to start with this one because I have it all in front of me. Let me put this one out of the way. So the way we start with this one is that we're going to start with a piece of DSP. And the DSP that we're using, whoops, is not just that. It's the Mosaic Mood Specialty Designer Series paper. So this paper, you can see it's got a little bit of a sheen to it and it's true to its name. It's mosaic. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sylvia. Oh, it's winter in New Zealand. Right. Oh, I'm glad it's not winter. I'm not a winter girl. I like my summer. But anyway, you can see how pretty this paper is, and these hummingbirds are gorgeous. You can cut them right out of the paper. And honestly, I didn't think I would like this paper. It was okay. No, it's gorgeous. It's super pretty. All right, so grabbing, what was that? Okay, grabbing our scoreboard. And we're going to do some scoring on this. So as soon as I can find my scoring tool, there it is. All right, so you're going to, again, this is 11 by 11. You're going to score at 1 inch, 3.5 inches, 6 inches, and 8.5 inches. Whoops, jump the track. Then we're gonna flip it 90 degrees. And we're going to score it at 2.5 and 8.5. Okay, this paper is thick, which is why my stylus is jumping. All right, that's all the scoring we're gonna do. We're gonna put this away for right now. All right, we're going to use our scoreboard. I just realized I forgot to put the do not disturb on my cell phone. Uh-oh. I heard it buzz and I went, uh-oh. So hopefully nobody calls while I'm doing Facebook Live. I will quickly dismiss it. That scares me. All right, so fold on all these score lines and then we're gonna do some trimming. And I'm pulling out my big scissors for this because it's a little bit easier. Hi, Barb. Thank you for joining me. All right, so on this, let's see, which side can you see it easier on? I think you can see the score lines easier on this side. So with the 1 inch side at the top, we're going to remove these two rectangles. So there's this skinny rectangle and there's this square. And we're going to remove both of these. So just remove both of those. Like so. Nothing crazy complicated. We had a softball tournament last weekend. My daughter plays softball and I cut that really poorly. And so we were at the fields all day Saturday. I don't know how my parents did it for all the years they did it. All right, we're gonna score. Now we're gonna cut to the first score line. So we're creating the side of our box. Anyway, all the things my mom did for packing a cooler and feeding, you know, 15 people, which I always thought was ridiculous. Why is she doing that? All right, well, it all made sense on Saturday when I was doing the same thing and packing for everybody. And then, wouldn't you know it, you feed all the girls because we had no idea that the day was going to go that long. It was a complete surprise. Hi, Susan. Oh, good. You got, well, you should be getting 2 envelopes, Susan. So you have another one coming. All right, so on this 1-inch side, we're also going to trim off the corners. Anyway, we knew we'd be there, but we had no idea we'd be playing back to back games. I mean, we had like a 10-minute break in between each game because we ended up in the loser bracket, and you get no breaks. That was brutal. I'm just going to say brutal. All right, so what I used on this was liquid glue. It's my favorite. So I want to make sure when I put this together, so let's look at our finished one. I don't want to see the seam at the front. So, and on this one, because it's the stripes, you don't see it as much. But with this one, I'm doing the solid pattern. You'll see it more. So I want to make sure these flaps go to the back. Let me show you what I mean. So that when I put it together, these flaps go back instead of, let me show you what the instead of is. Instead of these flaps coming forward. Does that make sense? So if you do it the other way, you have a finished edge. If you do it this way, you just have the flap showing. Both will work. It's just my preference. All right, so let's get these folded correctly. And then we're gonna do some gluing. All right, so I'm gonna add glue, whoops, to this guy. And fold this up. So I'm just gonna start gluing this. Anyway, the girls ended up in the losers bracket, which, you know, is a hard road. Well, then they started playing. They played 4 games. Oh, by 3 o'clock. I was exhausted, and all I was doing was keeping score. And we were losing. We had 1 extra girl sub in. And thank goodness we had her because the girls, one at a time, started just melting. Like, at one point, Taya's like, Mom, I feel really lightheaded. I'm like, oh, you're out this next inning. And they subbed her in, and then we got her cooled down and put her back in, and another girl was out. So it was kind of nice. They all rotated, feeling faint. Not that that's a good thing, but oi, that was a little crazy. But also a lot of fun to see the girls just win. They lost their first one, and then, boy, they rallied. Won the next 2, and then lost the 4th one. It was actually really sad. Okay. Although really sad, and I've never been so happy to leave a ball field in all my life. All right, so now your lid, now you're all finished. Your box is together, and this is our lid. That's just gonna go down like this. Hi, Lisa. All right, it's gonna close. So I'm gonna show you how I did this closure now. So I used, it's our Nature's Twine. I should know the name of this. It comes in a 4-pack, and this is pretty thick twine. So I used the mint macaron on this one. It matches beautifully. But on this one, I'm going to use the blackberry because I think that'll look really cool. So what you're going to do is grab your 1/2-inch circle punch and your Very Vanilla paper. And mine went MIA. How far could it have gone? Like, it's the one I'm going to stamp on and everything. I think I do this once in at least every video. All right, well, there's a, hold on, we're just grabbing another piece. I know how to fix that. All right. So we're gonna punch 2 1/2-inch circles in Very Vanilla. Gonna set that aside. And we're gonna grab our piercing mat. And I'm using our metallic brads. I forgot to turn on a light. That's why it's not bright enough. Oh, hopefully that makes a difference. Okay, I'm like, something doesn't look right. So we're using our metallic brads. Now, usually this pot is quite full of brads, but I used them for a whole bunch of cards. And you just wanna get 2 that match. There's ones that look like a button. There's these little guys. And then there's these in between kind of ones. And you get them in all three colors, in the silver, the gold, and the copper. So the ones that I have 2 of left are gold buttons. Here, I can pull that back in so you can see what that looks like. So take your piercing tool, and I just guess at the middle of the circle. It's not an exact science. You could make it an exact science and pull it out, but that's just, let's face it, that's a lot of work. All right, so we're gonna put this through the hole and put this through this hole. All right, now onto our box. Oops. So we're gonna flip our lid over onto our piercing mat, and you're going to find the middle. Now, I will tell you the mistake I made with this one was I found the middle, but I didn't go up high enough, so we're gonna go up higher. You could measure, you could absolutely measure. I'm not going to measure. I'm going to eyeball this. We're gonna put a hole right there. So I'm gonna take one of my brad doodads here, and I'm going to, come on, use my fingers, get it in there, and put it in the hole. Okay, not hard, right? Now, here's the part I want you to see. Hopefully I'm doing this so you can. We need to leave space. So a lot of times with brads, you would just flip these open and keep it plumb with the paper. That's not what we want to do here. We want to make sure that we leave a space in between so there's room for the twine. Does that make sense? And I'm hoping you guys can see that. All right, so I kind of stick my finger in between the paper. Oops. So that it leaves a space. And then I do it back. All right, did that make sense? So now you have the space, like so, and it's secured on the back. Okay, hope that makes sense. We're gonna do it again though. So now that we have where this guy is, we need to figure out where the one down here is. And again, I eyeball this because it's just kind of how I roll. Poke your paper, put your little doodad through, and I know my fingers are going to get in the way with this, but we'll try. You're just going to do it again. Oh! Don't shove the little brads under your fingernails. That hurts. Just so you know. All right, so now it looks like you kind of have wobbly little brads. Okay. Hope that made sense. Lisa, did I say hi to you? I don't know if I did. Hello. If I did not, I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to just cut a length of this Blackberry Bliss twine. That should be plenty. And I'm gonna start by just wrapping it around the bottom one. So you're just wrapping it so it gets secured. Whoops. Then across the top, I mean, so it's just like an envelope closure that you've probably done 1,000 times. Oh, except mine doesn't want to stay. Just a second. We're gonna make it stay. There we go. So our closure is done. Did that all make sense? I hope that made sense. All right, so now we have the top of our, so now let's decorate it. So with this one, I used mint macaron to stamp my image. And on this one, well, that's just Catawonky. Oh, there we go. Okay. For this one, this is not wanting to stay. This is a good lesson in why you want to make those brads nice and loose. This one, I didn't make them quite loose enough. There we go. All right, I'm using the Memorable Mosaic stamp set, and we're using the Sending All Happy Wishes Your Way. It has a matching punch. You guys know I love my punches, especially when it stamps out an image. That makes me super happy. So we're using this matching punch. And I want to show you how I'm storing my stamps now because it's changed. All right, so the way I'm storing them now is this is the sticker paper that comes to put on the top of your stickers. And this is the sticky part because our stamps are all sticky now. So let me show you what the difference is. I'm sorry, I know this is a little bit of a deviation, but it made sense for me. All right, so my big thing is I want to be able to, at a glance, see if I have all my stamps or if something's missing. Because if one's missing, I need to know, so I search for it before I take the garbage out. Or maybe that's just me. You've never thrown away a stamp or a die. I do. All right, so here's my morning magnolia. And here's what happens. So I used to hold them like this, and I kept this back piece, and then I could see. But now with the cling stamps, they just cling to the lid. And that is not at all helpful, because that kind of defeats the purpose, right? All right, so improvement. Now they just stay on the sticky sheet, and they stay there. I mean, so mine store upright, and they're still stuck. So there you go. There's my tip for the day. Random tips. Save your sticker sheets. I might have to call and beg Stampin' Up! For new sticker sheets for my magnolia one. All right, I have Blackberry Bliss somewhere. I have the ink pad. No, I don't. I left it over here. Ha ha. All right, Blackberry Bliss. And we're going to ink that up. And stamp that. Beautiful. Then we're going to take our punch. Now, here's a little bit of a difference for this punch. Usually for punches, you have a little bit of the edge showing. Not for this one. It goes right up against the edge. So you just want to center it and then punch it out. Get that paper out of the way. All right, so now we have that. And I have a stitched circle from the Stitched Shape Framelits. I use these all the time. And I'm going to put, that's a lot of dimensional that I don't need. Here we go. Piece of dimensional on the back of this. And stick this one here, right in the middle. And then right in the middle of the top of our lid. I usually like to add bows and other stuff, but the paper is busy enough that I thought that was just not a good choice. All right, so that is box one. What do you guys think? Or do you have any questions for me on how this went together? Hopefully it all made sense. All right, so that takes us to our first commercial break, and we'll do our peacock box next. I have two things to show you super fast. All right, I have two classes coming up that you can register for. This is the wreath class using the new Bird Ballad DSP. The kit is $28.99, and it comes with a full stack of the DSP, a bolt of the lace ribbon, the wreath itself that you need to put it together, and a full written tutorial. This is only available to go, so I will ship it to you, or you can have free porch pickup. So if you would like to do this, now, I've had a number of people who have looked at this and said, that is too complicated, there is no way I'm going to do it. So let me tell you, when you see the instructions for this, you will be amazed at how crazy simple this is. It is not hard. I promise it is not hard. It's the perfect to-go class. You'll be able to do this in no time flat. And of course, I'll give you your stitch shapes there because it hangs in the middle, which I can't really show you how it hangs because we're looking down, right? All right, so if you'd like the link for that, let me know. And I will be happy to send it to you. And then the other one I have is the scrapbook. So this is my Magnolia mini scrapbook. And let me show you how this works. So you have an inside pocket here. It flips open. This pulls out. This flips up. These pull out. Whoops. Like so. That flips open. And it just keeps going like that. There's all these pulls and things to flip up and open up. So tons of space for pictures, like a ton of space for pictures, right? And little notes that you want to add. And it just keeps going and going all the way to the end, and then we have another pull out here. So lots of space to put notes and stuff that you would like to put in. So if you would like to register for this class is offered live on Thursday. So locally, I'll have it Thursday, June 27th at 10 a.m. or 6 p.m., or it will be offered to go. You're going to make this scrapbook from scratch. There's no pre-book part of it. I'm going to show you how to make this page, and you're going to assemble it all. It looks complicated. You definitely need the instructions, but it's not hard. You're going to be able to put it together. I have every confidence. This one is also coming with a video tutorial. So I do written tutorials, but this one comes with a video tutorial. So you can have me sitting next to you when you want to do it. The class kit is $47.99. You get a full stack of the Magnolia DSP, the cork embellishments, and the, let's go back to the front, the ribbon combination pack. So there's just a ton of paper in this one. Anyway, registration for this one closes next Sunday. If you'd like to do this one, please let me know and I'll send you the link. You can also add on the stamp set if you'd like to. And I did all the stamping in Early Espresso except the front, which was a boo-boo, and I meant to do it in Early Espresso. So yours will look right and mine won't, but that's okay. So anyway, let me know if you'd like to register for that one. All right. Next is this one. This is our Pretty Peacock paper. Let me show you that. It is gorgeous. You can see it in blue and peacock. And I'm gonna get to it, Old Olive. So you end up getting 3 sheets of each color. It's gorgeous, and it's super thick. So it's perfect for boxes. So this one is in peacock. I did the top in the specialty paper, and then I did the bottom of the box in the peacock cardstock. So let me show you. I think you'll like this one. Bring in all this stuff. Oops, as it all falls. Darn it all. All right, so we're going to start with, I just covered up my directions, our bottom. So I'm using the blue. So we put it together in the original was done in the peacock. This one's going to be done in the blueberry bushel. So we're going to start with our base. Oh, I need to show you a thing first. Hang on, before we score. All right, our bottom is 7 inches by 11 inches. So you can use the standard cardstock for it. To put it together, one of the things that I kind of despise is that when I put a box together and the bottom like buckles in. So you've probably seen that where you have to shove it together, but one side like concaves in because you're shoving it in. All right, here's what you do to make that work not happen. You're going to take off a sliver, and I do mean a sliver. That's my official measurement. So this much on 2 adjoining sides like this. So a sliver or a smidge, whatever you want that official measurement to be. So we're just taking off that much, not a ton, but I promise it makes a huge difference. All right, now grab your scoreboard and put it right side up. Super helpful. And we're going to stamp at 1.5 inches on all 4 sides. And just keep turning it. Scoot this over, it makes more sense, at 1.5. Okay. Then we're gonna take our top, and our top is 6 inches by 10 inches. I will put all these measurements on my, I'll edit the video and put all the comments in put the measurements in the comments. And you're gonna score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. For the specialty DSP like this, that's kind of the foil. Obviously this is going to be the top of your box. I recommend you score on this side. And I'll show you why in just a second. And not the reverse. So the reverse is white, but this way it makes the indentation going in. There's a reason why that's important. I'll show you. So that's all the scoring we're gonna do, by the way. Grab our scissors. So when you do it this way and it's on the really thick paper like this, sometimes, especially if you live in the climate I live in, we live in a desert, it's super dry here, your paper can crack. You've all probably experienced that. So the way to get around that I have found most effective is to score it so you have the indentation going in and then fold on your score lines. It just makes your paper bend just a little bit more. If you scored on this side and then folded, that paper would already be pushing out. Does that make sense? You'd have the little score line pushing up and then you're folding it as well. So it's much more likely to, whoops. What am I trying to say? It's much more likely to crack. Now, ours doesn't always crack. I usually don't have a problem, but this is how I make sure. So the first thing we want to do is cut the corners off of our lid. We're going to repeat the same process with the bottom. And then you're going to cut up on the score lines on opposite sides. So I'm doing the long side. As long as they're opposite, it's fine. So if you wanted to cut on this side here, you could. You just need to then cut on this side. I hope that makes sense. And you want to use score tape for sure on this to make it stay. You just need a little bit, because it's just a wee little piece. Does anybody have any exciting plans for the summer? We leave on vacation in about a week and a half, and we'll be gone for about 2 weeks. I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be a great trip. Softball season is over, so we're done hanging out at the ball field. All right, so now put the tear and tape on. Now I'm just gonna fold this up, and then I'm gonna bring the corner up. Do it again, fold it up, bring my corner up. Right. Anyway, softball season is over. Swimming lessons are long over. My daughter's an expert swimmer. I swear she's part fish. All right, so we're gonna fold that up and put it in again. And she starts middle school this next year. How is that possible? Oh. Okay, so our beautiful lid is done. I love the color of this. All right, now we're gonna repeat the same process on the bottom. Fold on all those score lines. So we tend to spend a lot of days at the pool. My parents have a community pool that we go hang out at. I want to go pick blueberries this year too. I've used up all the blueberries that are in my freezer, and I love having fresh blueberries. And then on Father's Day, my dad was out of town. My folks were out of town, so we got together with our friends, and my husband requested a lemon meringue pie, which I told him he had confused me with my mom, because that's my mom's thing. And then I thought, I can make lemon. I should be able to do this. I can totally do this. I make pies all the time, just not lemon meringue. All right, I now know why I don't make lemon meringue. Wow, what a pain. A colossal pain. However, it's his favorite pie. It's also my favorite pie. And store-bought pies do not taste even close to the same. So I attempted it. It looked pretty. The meringue deflated just a little bit by the time we ate it. And then it was a little on the tart side. I added a little too much lemon in my desire to make it super lemony. Oopsies. So now I'm determined to try again. So I see another lemon meringue pie in my future, because I just kind of roll like that. See what happens. Hopefully the next one turns out a bit better. But I made lemon meringue pie and I made lemon squares. Now the lemon squares were good, but I've made those before many times. Having to temper egg yolks into your mixture, that's a little scary, because you're like, oh, And Kathy Hartley, and I don't know if she's on here, she brings me fresh eggs. She has chickens. She brings me fresh eggs. So I used those fresh eggs, of course, for the lemon meringue. And I knew that once I was out of eggs, I only had enough to make the pie. So I was a lot nervous actually, tempering those eggs. I didn't want to have scrambled eggs in my lemon mixture. That would just be icky. All right. Now that I'm rattling on about lemon meringue and eggs. Topic of the day. Whoops. All right. Our lid is off, our bottom here is all finished. All right, so now if I did my job right, the lid will just fit on beautifully. Whoops. And come on. It's sticking to the inside. There we go. And it fits. And there's no buckling in on any of the sides. Does that make sense? All right, so now we just need to decorate our box. So what I used was the new Tags and More kit. I feel the need to put a disclaimer out. It does not come in this box. This is just the box I'm storing it in. And these die cuts come on little pages, but I took them out because they didn't fit quite right in here. It made complete sense to me. So I'm going to use this. So it comes in, this is Granny Apple, Peacock, I think that's Coastal Cabana, I don't remember, and Terracotta. How's that for awesome? And then you have, whoopsies, these great frames that you can stamp on. And I need that one for the terracotta. It also comes with baker's twine, 3 different baker's twine, copper washi tape, and these beautiful copper clips. And we're gonna come back to that in just a second. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my washi tape, and I want to jazz up this tag just a little bit. So I'm going to, whoops, just run it straight down one side. The paper is so pretty. It seems like these aren't quite shiny or bright enough. So then I'm just gonna trim these off. So I have that. They do come punched. This one has a little hole punch. It's just not popped out, and I'm not gonna pop it out because of the way I'm attaching it, whoops, to this box. Let's put that over there. All right, now comes the fun part. Oopsies. And now I have copper tape stuck to my fingers. Come on, everything's stuck. All right, close that. And I'm going to bring in our ink, and everything's going to fall. So I'm using the Delightful Day stamp set. It matches our coordinating punch that we have, the new tag topper punch. I'm not using that punch today because I'm using the tag set. So I'm using just a little something special is what I used on this one. On this one, I'm going to do Wishing You a Delightful Birthday, because this looks like a guy box. It could totally be a guy box, right? So let's change out the sentiment to that. Oh, come off. And I'm going to stamp in Blueberry Bushel onto the orange. Get that put away. Ink up our stamp really well. And stamp right in the middle, which of course, if I'm really awesome, I'll get my head in the way. Hang on. I don't think that has enough ink on it. It's the first time I've inked it up. Sometimes the first time you ink it up, it like doesn't want to cooperate. All right. Like that. We'll close this up. And then I'm going to adhere this with dimensionals, because I don't know if life would be complete if a project didn't have at least a couple of dimensionals on it. Like so. Then to add to it, I'm using our beautiful terracotta ribbon, one of the new In Color ribbons. I love this ribbon. And I'm just gonna tie a bow. I don't want it to look too girly because I'd like to be able to give it to a guy. But you could fit a lot in this box. But it's not going to be a big enough bow. I like big bows. Oops. Like that. Okay, hang on. I don't ever cut it off the spool till I'm sure it's the way I want it, in case I need to retie it. I'm just going to pull it through. That looks pretty good. Could probably be just a little bit better, but we're gonna leave it like that. I'd like the tail to be a little longer, but that's okay. Like that, and then we're gonna go back to our box, grab one of our clips, like so, and I'm just going to attach it to the middle of the bow, like so. There you go. I actually think I like the blue one better. I think I used too much color on this one, in my personal opinion. What do you guys think? So you have this one, which I think needs to be just a wee bit higher, and the peacock one. I think I like this one, and then these two boxes. This paper is so pretty. You'd be surprised. It's just got this nice finish to it. All right. Hi, Vicki. You're welcome. Thank you, Kim. I'm glad you like them. Thanks, Linda. Okay, so there's this. There's the wreath class you can register for. Let me know if you want the link, and the scrapbook class that you can register for. And I'll be happy to send you that link as well. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help. Other than that, I will see you next Tuesday. It'll be my last Facebook Live before I go on vacation. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.